There was once a railway where 6 engines worked at. All 6 engines are female. There was even a lawyer who worked with them. He wasn't so satisfied that he didn't have enough work. But the lawyer does get along with the engines real good. The first engine bought to this railway was dark green with big wheels. Her name was Emily. Emily's job is taking passengers from each station to another. Another engine is Molly. Like Emily, Molly has big wheels. And she also has a tender like Emily. Molly's job is taking empty freight cars. The next engine that came to the railway was a tank engine. The tank engine's name was Rosie. Rosie always gets her work done. And she always gets it done on time. And never arrives late. Rosie is a pink tank engine with 6 wheels. But she does look similar to that other engine. But anyways, on to the next engine, who was the 4th one to arrive on this railway. This engine, of course, was a diesel and a tram. Mavis was her name, and she was also called a tram diesel. Mavis's job is working at a quarry. And she was very good at it too. The next engine that came to the railway was Flora. Flora is a steam tram and can take passengers like Emily can. The last one is Daisy, and she also takes passengers like Emily and Flora. Daisy is a diesel rail car, and unlike other engines, pulling was bad for her swerves. It was all going well on the railway, but as the days are passing, the 6 engines are getting lesser and lesser work. There were less passengers arriving, and there was even lesser freight. There was a barge who often comes to the railway to drop off the cargo for Rosie. And you all know who that barge is. Bulstrode. He can be real annoying to Cranky and the other engines from Sodor, but he isn't annoying to the engines from this railway. Bulstrode was indeed the one who always brings the cargo to this railway.
Hello, Pink Engine. I got the cargo for you.
Oh, thanks, Bulstrode.
Hey, you seem all worried. What's the matter?
Well, ever since the days passed, dozens of passengers are, well, decreasing to dozens. And we're also getting lesser and lesser freight. And in the next 2 days, the whole row is gonna close down.
No good. I got to go tell my controller about it.
So after Rosie's cars were loaded, Bulstrode went back to Sodor. The nighttime then came, and all 6 engines were gathered at the sheds. Before they were getting to sleep, they were talking about what would happen if the railway was closed. We will be completely useless if the railway closes. I agree with Daisy. All of us will never be seen again. Unless another controller would have us in his or her railway.
Oh, that reminds me. Bulstrode told me that he is gonna ask his controller if he can have us.
Well, there's some good news I'm hearing. If we're back to another railway, we'll never be useless. There's hoping that we don't stay here and fall apart.
Trust me, we won't be useless if we're bought by another railway.
And after hearing what Rosie said, the other engines quickly agreed with her. The next day was the engine's final time to work. When Emily got to the station, she noticed that there were only 2.5 dozen passengers to be picked up. This is why this is the final time to work, because by tomorrow, there will be no more passengers left. This became a disappointment for Emily. It also became a disappointment for Daisy and Flora. They also didn't have enough passengers. There were also no more rocks left for Mavis, so the quarry had to be shut down. The last of the passenger ships came to pick up the last of the passengers, and the freight ships came to pick up the cargo that had to be taken to Sodor. All was ended by the afternoon, and Molly had to take all the empty coaches and freight cars all the way to the yards. Rosie still had hope that she and her friends would be out of this railway before it would close down. As the night passed, the passengers said goodbye to the engines one last time. Or, at least if it is. When the lorry found out that there was no more cargo left, he thinked that it was time that he should leave the railway. So he went off. The last of all the work was done, and all the engines was gathered at the sheds. You know, I have noticed something. Have any of you seen the lorry? Because I haven't seen him anywhere when I just got back here. You know what? I think I haven't seen him at all. He could be anywhere. I think I know. He's probably leaving us and leaving this railway. Well, there goes our good lorry.
Let's not worry about the lorry. We should be worrying about ourselves.
And why should we?
Because we just have one day left here. If we're not out of here by tomorrow, we'll be done.
Rosie might be right. Yeah, she might. If we're lucky enough, we would still be useful engines.
Yeah, we would. Let's hope so.
And with the hope of ever getting out of the railway that is about to be closed down, the 6 engines went to sleep. Meanwhile, the controller of this railway was thinking of an idea of what he can do after he closed the railway. But then, he got a message from someone in particular. What's this? Oh, man! I gotta go tell this to my engines! But I shouldn't wake them up. So, I should just tell them tomorrow then. The next day, the 6 engines just woke up, just as the control of this railway came. Wake up! Wake up, all of you!
What is it, sir?
It's a letter from someone whose name is Sir Topham Hatt.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's see what it says.
Dear underworked controller, I can understand that you're out of work and that you're shutting your railway down. While I am in need of more engines for my railway, and I'm wondering if I can have your engines. There are too much work for us, and there's not enough engines in my railway. I hope to see the engines you have, because there's lots to do in my railway. Sincerely, Sir Topham Hatt, Controller of Sodor Railway. So, what are you thinking, sir? Well, what we have just read from this letter... I am selling you all to Sir Topham Hatt's railway. You all will not have to be useless engines.
Yay! We're all being transferred!
So that means all of us won't have to fall apart. You all better get ready, because this railway will close at midnight. Yes, sir! We're on it! Sunset came, and Daisy and Mavis had their tanks all filled up with oil. And all the steam engines was all filled up with coal and water. They were all cleaned up and went to say their final goodbye to their controller. Goodbye, all of you. I hope you all enjoy your new home at Sodor.
Oh, I think we will, sir.
It is also an honor having 6 useful engines working on my railway, and I am very proud of all of you. Thank you, sir. You've been the most greatest boss in this railway. Well, you all better go now. You don't want to stay here after midnight. And with the underworked controller's final order, the 6 engines went off to their new home, Sodor. And as hours passed all the way to midnight, the underworked controller closed the whole railway down. With the railway closed, there was no turning back, and a new future was going to begin for the 6 engines: Emily, Molly, Rosie, Mavis, Flora, and Daisy, as their time on their old railway ends, and is now the time for them to forget the things they did in the past, leave it all behind, and begin their new lives on the island of Sodor.